Call to order. The meeting is called to order at 6:30 p.m. Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Lopez, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Absolutely. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Staff, please call the roll.
Commissioner Chang is absent. Commissioner Tu? Thank you. Chair Romo is absent. Vice Chair Salo?
Present.
Thank you. And Commissioner Lopez?
Present.
Thank you.
Tonight's meeting is live streamed on Cable Channel 3 and on our online platforms. To prevent any overlaps in comments, each commissioner will be called upon to speak. Public comment. This is the time set aside for members of the public to address the Design Review Commission on items of interest that are not on the agenda, but are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Commission. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the Design Review Commission cannot answer any questions or take any action until such time as the matter may appear as an item on a future agenda. If you wish to address the Design Review Commission, please fill out a speaker card that is available on the back table. Once completed, kindly submit the card to the recording secretary. Speakers will be called upon to the podium one by one. Each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes to speak. Do we have any public comments?
No public comment at this time, sir.
Thank you. Consent calendar. All items listed under the consent calendar are considered routine, and recommendations will be approved in one motion unless a member of the Design Review Commission or public requests such separate action. Commissioner Lopez, do you have any items you'd like to pull for separate discussion?
I do not, thank you.
Commissioner Tu? Staff, have we received any requests from the public to pull any items?
No, sir.
Okay. Approval of the meeting minutes for January 27th Design Review Commission meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve the minutes, please.
Great. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Chang is absent. Commissioner Tu? Yes. Chair Romo is absent. Vice Chair Salo?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
Thank you. 3 ayes, motion passes.
Great. Public hearing. Staff, please address the following.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair and members of the Design Review Commission. There are 2 public hearing items this evening. And as mentioned, copies of the agenda and staff report are available on the city's website at www.sangabrielcity.com, and also on the table that is by the entrance. Anybody wishing to speak on an item this evening and are not the project applicant, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the recording secretary, which is Damien this evening. Please write down the item number that you would like to speak on, and speakers will be called up one by one to the podium during the public hearing portion of each item. And as mentioned, each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes to speak. For each item this evening, staff will provide a summary of the staff report, followed by a presentation by the applicant team if there is a presentation. Otherwise, the applicant is available for questions from the commission. After the public comment portion of the meeting, the applicant will be provided an opportunity to respond to comments as well. And prior to the close of the public hearing, the commission may ask questions of the applicant, staff, or the city architect. And this evening with the city architect's office, we have Wallace Fu substituting for Ron Nestor. However, once the public hearing is closed, the opportunity for public comment has ended. And so with that, Vice Chair, staff is ready to present item A.
Okay. Let's proceed with item A.
Yes, thank you, Chair, members of the Design Review Commission. The item before you is a master sign program. And this is for a project that is located at 140 West Valley Boulevard. The case number is MSP 21-006, and the applicant is Studio ADS. The project site is located on the southwest corner of Valley Boulevard and Delmar Avenue. The zoning of the property is mixed-use transit-oriented development within the Valley Boulevard specific plan area. The subject property is approximately 12 acres in size and is currently developed with a commercial shopping center development that is approximately a little bit over 218,000 square feet in size. The site plan here shows the layout of the building as well as the location of the parking area, and no alterations to the building or to the parking area is proposed as part of this request. As shown to the commission at the prior meeting, this is a returning item from the October 28th, 2024 meeting. This is a photograph of the existing property to the left before the current painting project, and the image to the right is a photo simulation of the project, and it does depict the current color scheme of the property. An exterior modification was reviewed by the Design Review Commission on March 28th of 2022, and the property owner has since decided not to proceed with the more complex exterior modifications and instead opted, as mentioned by staff, to repaint and re-roof the existing plaza in the color palette that was previously shown. So the item before the commission this evening is the updated master sign program. At the previous meeting, a wall mural at the stair area was proposed, and the property ownership has since decided not to move forward with that component of the project. So the item before the commission this evening is only the updated master sign program. At the October 28th meeting, the commission did provide comments to the applicant team and determined to continue the application to a date uncertain to address the comments provided by the commission. So the existing master sign program for this property was last updated in 1993. So this is definitely a more updated and modern criteria for the plaza. And the criteria that has been provided as attachment B to the commission, it includes criteria for wall signs, pedestrian signs, wayfinding signs, as well as pylon signs. And within the criteria are standards that allows for standard channel letters that are front lit, reverse, as well as halo, and includes or allows for upper and lowercase lettering, as shown on the slide, and also for the font style and colors to not be limited. Additionally, the criteria includes standards for 2 pylon signs, one that is facing East and West Valley Boulevard, and a second that is facing north-south on Delmar Avenue. And also, new signage is proposed at the parking entrance area that leads to the existing subterranean parking level. As part of the criteria, proposed pedestrian signs include blade signs as well as directory signs. And as part of the wayfinding signs, the criteria includes freestanding pedestrian and vehicular directional signs. Since the meeting, the commission did provide comments to the applicant, but since the meeting, the applicant, in consultation with the property owner, has decided not to make any revisions to the pedestrian signs and to the directory signs. And as mentioned in the staff report, the recommendation before the commission this evening from staff is to approve the application. But since the comments from the commission was not addressed, the recommendation is to remove the details for the pedestrian wayfinding as well as directory sign, since the comments were not addressed. So the application is consistent with the goals and targets of the general plan, including the goals within land use, economic development, community, and community design. This application and the public hearing was sent to property owners within a 500-foot radius, as well as posted on the property and published within the San Gabriel Sun, and the agenda for tonight's meeting was posted at City Hall, the post office, library, and the city's website. The project was reviewed per the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines and the project is categorically exempt under Section 15301, Class 1 for existing facilities. So as mentioned, the recommendation provided to the commission this evening is to adopt a resolution of the Design Review Commission of the City of San Gabriel, California, approving planning case number MSP 21-006 for an updated master sign program to the existing commercial plaza, subject to the recommended conditions. And as mentioned, staff's recommendation includes removing the details for the pedestrian and the directory signs. However, they are in the current packet, and the commission can decide to approve those as well. But those are staff's recommendations. And this concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, Sam. Clarifying questions from commission to staff. Commissioner Lopez, do you have any questions for staff?
None, thank you.
Commissioner Tu, do you have questions for staff?
Yes, I do. So the last review, I record that the artist program was not discussed, so it's also not included in this submission.
That's correct. At the prior meeting, the commission provided comments that the proposed wall mural lacked details and wasn't enough information for the commission to consider. So the property owners, instead of providing that detail, has opted not to move forward with the mural proposal.
Okay, so there will not be any art program associated with the project at all?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Another question, can you clarify the pedestrian sign that the applicant didn't address the commission's comments? I didn't get that part really well.
The comment from the commission was to incorporate a design and a color palette that is consistent with the style and the color palette of the rest of the center. Or to at least provide some background as to the color choice for the black and the yellow. And that was not provided. Instead, the ownership decided to move forward with their request as proposed.
Okay, thank you. But I do not see the yellow color in the
That's right.
in the material board.
That's correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, now is the time for public comments. Do we have any public comments?
No public comment this time, sir.
Okay. Time is now 6:43 p.m. The time for public comment on this item is now closed. Commission deliberation discussion. Commissioner Lopez, do you have any discussion points?
Is the applicant here, or?
Yeah, I was reminded if the applicant would like to make some comments, now is the time. Great. Okay.
I do have a question. Can you tell me why the previous comments from the commission were not addressed as far as the color palette for the signage?
After further review with the owner of the property, it was decided to omit that from our future submittals.
Okay, let me understand then. Then you're leaving it as originally proposed in spite of our comments, or?
So we.
Meaning you did not address the comments at all? Just, go forward with it?
So we addressed some of the comments. We decided not to proceed with making adjustments to the design for this sign and removing it from our proposal at this time.
Okay, I think I'm misunderstanding. The yellow and black, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the commission asked you to kind of elaborate and expand on why that choice of colors and how it, and I believe the commission's view was that it didn't blend quite well with the color palette that you currently had or are proposing. Consequently, we asked that you come back and either give some rationale as to why those colors were chosen, or to offer different options as far as the color palette. My understanding further is that the yellow is not in here. Is that correct? Did I miss it?
The yellow is not in the package.
Okay, so not to say anything on your specific thing, but I've asked several times that what we view here visually has to coincide with what's in here, because it creates a discrepancy that we cannot visualize, or it becomes, how can I put it? It just, we cannot approve something we're looking at here, but that is not in the plans. You kind of understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Consequently, we had asked for you to address the commission on those comments, and you've chosen not to address it. So, am I to say that, am I to think that you're neglecting or refusing to take any opinion from this commission?
No, the yellow is part of an overall branding package for TAWA. So the comments that we received that the yellow didn't fit within the color palette of the building, we have removed the yellow. And this proposed pedestrian sign is not included in the sign types that we are proposing for this master sign program.
Okay, so what you're saying is that what we are looking at is not what it's going to look like.
That sign is not included in this submittal.
I'm sorry, I think I'm a little confused as to, is the sign going to be there, and is it going to look as we see it on the screens?
No, it will not be there. I don't know why this one was put in.
That sign will not be there
No,
at all?
no, not according to my plans, no.
Okay, so there will be no signage at all?
There will be signage, just not this specific one.
Okay, what signage? Can you refer to the page number, please?
Absolutely. So the sign family that we are proposing for the master sign program can be found on sheet 14. Unless I'm looking at the wrong one.
Okay, so it'll be black and orange? Is that what you're proposing? Where it says pedestrian directory at the bottom center of your sheet 14. Is that what that signage is going to look like, or?
My apologies. I am looking, the package that I have in front of me that I thought was submitted to the city does not include this sign.
Okay, so you may be looking at something totally different than we're looking at here and the screen. So we have 3 iterations?
No. Give me 1 second.
Yes, Commissioner Lopez. Again, to clarify, those details are in this packet. Again, based on conversations with, I think Brianne is here on behalf of the sign company this evening, but may not have worked directly on the design. But as the commission can see, I think on page 28, as well as, as well as 27, those details are still within this packet. This item was discussed extensively with the signage company, and after several exchanges, again, this is what the sign company asked to move forward with, and although some of the yellow details have been revised as shown on sheet 27 that's provided to the commission, the particular signage, both the directory and the pedestrian wayfinding are still within this packet, which is why staff's recommendation is to move forward with the standards and the other criterias for this plaza. Staff understands that there are tenants waiting to move in and to install their signage, so it's important that the other sign standards move forward this evening. And so in discussions with the sign company, they said that they wanted to keep it in the packet to allow the commission an option to consider this evening, or if not, and based on staff's recommendation, to just remove those details from the packet and to move forward with the rest of the criteria.
Okay, so it's black and orange
It's the yellow.
on 27.
That's correct.
Is it orange or yellow?
It looks like a yellow. These were questions that staff had also asked, and the response is this is
it'll be-
Tawa's branding color. However, short of that comment, staff did not receive any additional information regarding that.
Okay, so we're not sure if it's going to be a copper yellow or
That's correct.
a golden yellow.
Yeah, that's correct.
And perhaps the applicant can shed some light into what it's going to be?
Sorry, I'm Justin. I'm representing the ownership here as leasing manager. In the package that I have, I don't know where this miscommunication is. We do have our color palettes with every color that was on there. It's on page, what page?
12?
Hold on, one,
Yes.
12, yes.
So you have like 10 colors on this page 12?
Yes,
But the material
white.
board only showing 6 colors? Or maybe just 5 colors and the materiality of it?
We did.
Yeah, that's my next question, that we don't see the rest of the colors in the material board.
Understood. The color board was from our previous submittal on October 28th, and it was an error on our behalf of not submitting the added colors to be added to that material board.
Okay, so we should not consider this as in this evening, right?
Those colors are still within the package, but the additional colors that are missing are the ones that are not included on that materials board.
Okay. Okay, but might be having hard time to actually like relay some of the colors on the sheets and the material board, because the printing is actually like has influence on the presentation of the color. So another question I have is this page is not included in tonight's package at all.
That's correct. That's the previous design from October. Yes, the more current design is on sheet 27.
So 27 is a simplified version of the previous design
That's correct.
with the same color scheme. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So the idea of removing this design from the package, for approval of the standard, but what's gonna to occur for those pedestrian board? Because it's presented on the site plan, there will be a pedestrian sign directory on the site. Would that be a separate review?
No, staff's recommendation would be to completely remove all those details based on the commission's action this evening, including the site plan showing the location of the pedestrian sign as well as the directory sign. So any references within the criteria as a final submittal to staff is to not include any of those details.
So the sign will be removed from the project as well?
Yes.
I see.
May I clarify? So there will be no sign at all?
No, just this pedestrian sign as well as the wayfinding sign. So just those two will be removed from the criteria as part of the final.
But not subject to review post this meeting. So,
Well, that's
so
correct,
our
right?
original comments will never be addressed.
Well, in that sense, if the commission decides to move forward with staff's recommendation to not include those details, then the commission's comments would not need to be addressed because the comments were relative to the style and the design of the signs as well as the color palette. So if those two sign types were to be removed from the criteria, then it becomes a moot point because then those signage would not be a part of the program.
Yeah, which is exactly what I said, it'll never be addressed.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So, the difficulty I'm having is that it says yellow to match Phantom 124C satin finish. I don't know what that looks like in real life. And that's an issue for me. I defer to my fellow commissioners to what their thoughts are, but I have no further questions.
Commissioner Tu, do you have additional comments or questions?
My question was, is that the only change for this submission made was the color of the arrow on the parking sign from red to black?
For that particular sign, yes.
But any other changes?
No other changes.
So that's the only change
Right.
from what we've seen tonight compared to the previous package, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, so is the ownership that consider the option that without having all those signs in the property, would that be practical?
No, I believe they are still going to put the signs, but they don't want to submit it subject to our review. So they'll just choose whatever colors they want.
No,
Is that what my understanding is?
No, so completely removing it from this packet means that the commission is not moving forward those two particular sign type.
But we will never
So
get
they
a
will
chance to
not
review it.
exist on the property. If the applicant decides to come back with a design that will address the commission's comment, then the criteria would come back to the commission for consideration.
Okay, so will there or will not be, there be a, the directory and the arrows?
That would be subject to the commission's decision this evening. So the applicant is proposing to move forward with the design as presented in the packet. Staff's recommendation is to not include the wayfinding and the directory sign.
So they will not, so to understand, if we approve this tonight, there will not be a sign or any of those two signs, correct?
Yes, if the commission decides to move forward with the staff's additional recommendation.
Okay, so if they want to ever put those, they'll have to come back, is that what you're stating?
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying. Are there any other comments from commissioners?
At this This is not like a comment, but I just trying to associate the package with all these 10 colors presented. I mean, besides of the yellow color, obviously we know where it come from, but there's 3, 4 shade, or there's 2 black and 2 grays that I'm seeing one over here. So I just need some help from the applicant to understand how those colors are putting together.
So you have a few different sign types that carry different colors, just depending on color contrast. So on sheet 14, where we show the family of signs for the shopping center, you have primarily the white as your base for all signage, and then black accents for the lettering, and then the gray is incorporated into the overhead clearance bars as you enter into the underground parking structure. The yellow is in reference to the bang bars, and then the
Blue?
And then the other whites and blacks are through just the copy versus the base color.
And so where the blue color is applying to, the P5?
The blue color was previously applied to the wayfinding sign, the one that's shown up on the screen, and that sign is no longer.
So the P4 and P5 were the wayfinding sign? Oh, no, that's the,
Yes, but P4 will also be utilized for the overhead clearance bars into
Okay.
the underground garage.
so the P5 is the wayfinding sign, this one?
Correct.
On the left.
So, yes.
So the vinyl colors is specifically applied to,
The vinyl color is applicable to the pylon signs in terms of the 99 Ranch Market. Tawa Gateway is a different color, and then the tenant names themselves are in more of a gray undertone. So Tawa Gateway is intended to be more of a bold contrast in comparison to the base of the sign color. And then the tenant names are to be a slightly lighter gray color.
so as far as I understood, so the V3, the black color is the Tawa Gateway sign
Correct.
color, and the gray color is the tenant name?
Correct.
Okay. So it's hard to tell from the rendering. Okay, thank you. I don't have other questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Tu. So at this time, my comments are, after reviewing the revised proposal, I don't take any exception to what's being proposed. However, I do agree with my fellow commissioners that it should be very clear what we are looking at and what we're approving, and we shouldn't be looking at anything that we're not approving or remnants of past proposals. So the question kind of comes down to if staff has a complete understanding of what we're approving tonight or not. And my opinion on that is yes, they do, because they've reviewed this extensively. And with that being said, everything that we are approving tonight, this commission had no comments on previously. All the comments that were not addressed is regarding items that are not subject to this approval. Is that correct?
That's if the commission agrees with the recommendation to remove the 2 details.
Correct, yeah. So with that being said, I would be comfortable moving forward as long as we're clear about that. And I think, for future reference, we definitely need to omit from revision packages, everything that's being taken out. And that's not subject for.
Yes, Vice Chair, we can add an additional condition of approval, 11, to clarify that the wayfinding and the directory sign is subject to coming back to the commission for future review.
Okay. Okay, so I would like to ask either commissioner if we have a motion to approve. Okay, so without a motion to approve, I don't think we're going to have the votes necessary to approve the project. So I think we're going to have to ask the applicant to come back with a revised package at this time. We'll extend to a date. Okay, so you would motion to extend this project to a date yet uncertain?
I motion to extend to a date uncertain.
Roll call?
Commissioner Chang is absent. Commissioner Tu?
Yes.
Chair Romo is absent. Vice Chair Salo?
Yes?
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
3 ayes, motion passes for continuance.
And now we'll move on to item B.
Okay. Good evening, Vice Chair and members of the Design Review Commission. The public hearing item before you tonight is for a precise plan of design 22-010 to allow for the development of a 5-unit apartment building located at 1326 South Palm Avenue. The project site is located on the east side of Palm Avenue between Wells Street to the north and Newby Avenue to the south. The subject property is located in the R2 zone and is neighbored by R2 zone properties to the north, south, and west, and R1 properties to the east. The proposed project is for the construction of a new 5-unit apartment development and a detached ADU on a property measuring 20,526 square feet. The 5 apartment units are being proposed in 2 separate buildings, each of which will be 2 stories in height with private roof decks. Each of the 5 units will measure between 1,904 square feet and 2,009 square feet, and will also feature 2-car garages in addition to 2 guest parking spaces. The proposed project has been reviewed for compliance with the San Gabriel Municipal Code development standards for the R2 zone and meets all of the requirements, including density, lot coverage, building height, setbacks, and open space. The buildings are each designed in a Spanish style of architecture similar to more traditional style buildings found throughout San Gabriel. Staff and the city architect have reviewed the proposed design and have found it to be consistent with the city's residential design guidelines. Each of the 2 apartment buildings in the proposed ADU will be clad in a smooth stucco finish, painted in a hacienda color and a Swiss coffee accent on windowsills. The buildings will also feature a Spanish-style clay tile roofing material, arched entryways, and decorative corbels. The proposed project will feature new landscaping incorporated throughout the property, which will include a total of 28 new trees, including 3 24-inch box California cedar trees, 2 36-inch box Desert Museum trees, and 23 24-inch box Zuni trees. In addition to the new trees, the entryway and streetscape of the project site along South Palm Avenue will feature a variety of low water usage plants, shrubs, and ground cover materials, and walkways composed of pervious pavers. In addition to the new garden, the remainder of the project site that is not occupied by building footprints, walkways, driveways, and guest parking spaces will also be fully landscaped. The setback areas along the southern and eastern property lines will feature landscaping consistent with what is found along the front yard, and the proposed ADU will also feature substantial landscaping along 3 of the 4 sides. The general plan land use designation for the subject lot is medium-density residential. This land use designation allows multifamily residential developments in areas zoned R2. Additionally, the proposed development meets the housing goals 2.1 and 2.2, as well as community design goals 10.1 and 10.4 of the City of San Gabriel General Plan. The project was reviewed for compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act. This project is exempt from the requirements of CEQA per guidelines section 15303, class 3 for new construction or conversion of small structures, which applies to duplexes or similar multifamily residential structures totaling no more than 4 dwelling units. In urbanized areas, this exemption applies to apartments, duplexes, and similar structures designed for not more than 6 dwelling units. This item was noticed at the project site, advertised in the February 13th, 2025 edition of the San Gabriel Sun, and a notice was sent to all property owners and tenants within a 500-foot radius. Tonight's agenda was also posted at City Hall, the Post Office, and the Public Library. With that, staff recommends that the Design Review Commission adopt a resolution of the Design Review Commission of the City of San Gabriel approving planning case number PPD 22-010 for a precise plan of design for a proposed 5-unit apartment development at 1326 South Palm Avenue, subject to the recommended conditions of approval. That concludes the presentation.
Thank you, Marlon. Clarifying questions from commission to staff. We'll start with Commissioner 2 this time. Do you have any questions for staff?
No, I don't have question for staff. Thank you.
Commissioner Lopez, do you have questions for staff?
No questions, thank you.
Time is now for public comments. Do we have any public comments?
No public comment at this time, sir.
Okay, the time is now 7:11. I'd like to invite the applicant to make some comments if they would like to. Yes.
Good evening. My name is Andy Yu. I'm the applicant. I have no question. I would like to answer any question that you guys have.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to add, just their statements?
No, I don't.
Does commissioners have questions for the applicant?
Yes, I have a couple questions about the design, and I saw this roof deck on each of the unit is a private open space, but there's no drawing or design indicate how this open space to be utilized or any landscaping proposed, and what kind of design treatment it would be applied to those open space.
The open space basically just open area. There's no landscape unless the occupant would like to put those portable plants on top, because for waterproofing reason.
So pretty much is meeting the open space requirement for the project.
Open space requirement, I think we meet it within the ground area, not the private open space area.
Are you required to provide any private open space in the project?
Yes, I think we do, but
That's why you have the roof deck, right?
right, but I'm not sure we need to have them landscape it.
Well, this is typically, it's been discussed in this body that how you actually like utilize the open space and also landscape and hardscape to improve the quality of the building. And also
Definitely
the-
open to any recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Another question is that from the material board, on the, I think it's the page A240 on the package, there's door, it's a door image, and it says paint in espresso color, but the image showing is a white color door. Is there a discrepancy in the drawing? So what color exactly is the door?
It will follow the what's it called, the rendering. I think I downloaded from the manufacturer and they don't have color on it.
So the entry door is espresso color,
Right.
but you don't have any color indication on the elevation design. Like, we don't see any like material
I
or
don't specify
color
it.
indication on the drawing, and that's confusing. So you also have a different shape of the wooden color for the garage door. What color is that?
That'll be espresso also.
So it would be the same color
It's color
as the
scheme
front
as
door?
the front door.
Okay, so that needs to be also indicated, because on the elevation, we can't see those information.
Okay.
On the drawing itself, it appears to be different colors. So I think that's my question, and thank you.
Commissioner Lopez, you have questions for the applicant?
As far as the open space, did you consider anything, any type of landscaping at all, or you just opened it just so that you can meet the requirement?
I'm open to any recommendation. Most likely, we're gonna be, we tile it.
And we have no color palette, correct?
For the tile,
For you're saying that, express the color for the doors and also for
for a garage door,
the garage doors, correct?
right?
No further questions. Thank you.
Okay. At this time, I would like the city architect to provide his comments.
Yes, one suggestion I do have for the rooftop decks, since you're utilizing that to fulfill the private open space requirements, on the triplex building or even on the duplex building, perhaps there's some way to provide for some additional privacy between the units when you're on the rooftop decks. Maybe it can be some type of box planters with some type of screening in between the units. And from the renderings, I see that all the buildings are going to be receiving the same color scheme. Is that correct?
Yes.
I have no further questions for now.
Right, so, go ahead, Commissioner Tu.
Yes, I was trying to make sense of the elevation, because the elevation drawing, I mean, the rendering has the color, but it doesn't have a dimension to it. So all the window sill appears to be pretty low. Can you specify like how low it is? It's like 2 feet from the floor?
I don't know right now, because I need to look at the plan to see it.
I was wondering if there's any particular design intent in that, because it seems a little odd that major windows on all the living spaces are having really low window sill, but the style is not indicating any design intent for that. Because it looks like the building wasn't that short, but because of
Yes,
the
the windows,
proportion.
they're more or less like 2 feet from the finished floor.
So what's the idea behind that?
Just to keep the consistency, because some of the windows inside the bedroom need to meet the fire egress requirement.
You mean this considered as the egress window, that's why you
So,
lower
yeah,
it?
yes.
So all the window pane, like has to be tempered glass? because it's within
Yes,
the range.
yep. Or we need to provide a guardrail.
So you didn't provide any window schedule on the drawing, so I couldn't really see the size of those windows. It appears to be really big in a way. Are those like, are this casement window or they are awning?
They are,
Or the,
the up and down window is, what's it called? Single hung window,
single hung?
yes.
It looks like really big, those panels, because the entry door is like pretty much the same size of your entry door, but a little
It's
shorter.
about the same width.
I'm sorry?
They're the same width, 3 feet,
So it's 3 feet wide window,
right. 3 by 5,
5 feet tall.
right.
Okay.
We don't have a lot of windows, and we just try to bring more light in the living area.
Yeah, it appears to be like our proportion for some reason. It just making the elevation looks, unbalanced in a way because of the size of the window. So so 3 by 5, so each panel is 2.5 by 3, right? 3 foot wide, then is that, it's really like operable?
It is operable. But
So
people
can you
have like
provide- can you
5 by
provide
4
a-
window, and it's still operable.
Okay,
It depends
so
on
I just would
manufacturer.
like to see a little more about the windows and window specs, like the manufacturer and the specs, and how the window being operate.
It's up and down.
I'm sorry, this is not provided here.
It's single hung window.
No, we typically would ask for like manufacturer or spec sheets or more information about the window is selected so that we can have understanding about the actual look of the building instead of looking at just a color render. And this is not like a photorealistic rendering, this is just a 2D rendering. So this is my comments.
Thank you, Commissioner Tu. City Architect, you have a comment?
Question for the applicant, what is your header height set at?
The standard height for
The windows?
the window,
Yeah,
you mean the top sill? 6'8".
6'8". So you're less than 2 feet at the
Less than
sill?
3 feet. So 2 feet, 8 inches.
I noticed these are all 3050 single hungs, either paired up or singles. Are you using these for egress?
Some of them, those
Some
in
of
the
them?
bedrooms.
Have you considered possibly maybe raising the header height a
We
little
can
bit?
raise to 7.
Yeah. Because you have a 8-foot overall ceiling height, so that would leave you still a foot on top of the header. Perhaps 7 would bring it back up to a little bit more proportionate in the elevations.
Okay.
I have a quick question, if I may. I may interject. Have you met with our city architect at all in the design?
Not
and
in
planning?
person,
I beg your pardon?
not in person.
Just email or phone or,
Well, the plan's been submitting to a city architect, I think.
oh, I see, okay.
City Architect, do you have any additional comments or questions?
I have no further questions.
Okay. Commissioner Lopez, do you have further comments or questions?
No further questions for the applicant.
Okay. So we have some recommendations from the city architect regarding some landscaping or some outdoor suggestions. Commissioner Tu, do you think that the issue with the windows can be addressed in a condition of approval, or do you believe that you'd like to see more information, have the item worked out in more detail?
I just think that the overall design is really like driven by maximizing the square footage. So we see a really boxy design, and the elevation doesn't really have much massing change or like variation. The only, I mean, the window is oversized in a way, but when you refer to some of the room size, so the room is really big, like 16 by 14-foot bedroom is really big. So in a way, it kind of like worked out for the lighting perspective, but it just overall the design quality is not satisfactorily. So the proportion is off, and in terms of the stucco and the treatment of the stucco, you can actually see like the horizontal band and the vertical seam, and it just, I don't know, it's out of proportion in a way. So I feel like the design needs to be improved. It's not just providing the window spec. I mean, on the other hand, the design drawing didn't specify the materiality of the project either. It has some material listed, but it doesn't associate with the elevation drawing. So in a way, it's not, it doesn't provide sufficient information. And the color selected is discrepant, has discrepancy between the material board and the 2D color rendering. So this is my evaluation.
Right, thank you. Commissioner Lopez, do you have any additional comments?
I concur. I think we need a little more detail, especially on the material stucco and things like that, color. And I think perhaps the building does need a little bit more character. I'm not sure how you would achieve that. I would encourage the applicant to work with our city architect, perhaps in person, to really hammer out something that it's both has a character, especially with the neighborhood, and also the specificity as to what materials, the sizes and things like that, and the manufacturers of what of the windows and doors, perhaps. Yeah.
Thank you. The applicant, do you have any final comments you want to make?
I'm sorry, Commissioner. My name is Derek Tam. I'll be the general contractor for this project. So, quick question to you is like, by the design, I was trying to listen to what you guys were trying to say about the design. I don't have a really good statement from you guys. It's really subjective, and we did work with the city architect. We modified the design multiple times to satisfy the city architect side. That's how they approved the plan. So by Commissioner Tu was saying, I don't really have a clear direction as where to go. I was hoping to come up here and see if I can get that, because we're not going to be working with Commissioner 2 here when we correct the plans. So I want to make sure next time we come up here, we will meet what Commissioner 2 was referring to.
I just want to clarify, you're the builder or the designer?
I'm the builder.
You're the builder,
Yes.
okay, but you also representing the architect or the designer of this project?
Yes, we work as a team.
Okay, so you're the builder and he's the designer?
Yes.
I see, okay. And the city architect you work with was? Because the other gentleman said that you submitted your drawings,
Multiple times, yes, to the city architect and to get approval from them.
and so I assume that each time you submitted, you received some comments back?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think you need to do that another time, but with the comments that came out of this commission, gives you some indication of what to look at specifically. So I think there are some issues with the sill height being 2 feet, the size of the windows.
Yes,
the
those
size of the-
statements I understand perfectly. They're really concrete statements,
Correct.
but I was referring to some of them that are not that concrete.
Yeah, see, the thing is, we can't tell you what to design, so we can't give you the design. We can only tell you what the issues we see with your design is. So it's still your design. Yeah, and I understand as a builder.
Is
that-
or is not?
Well, sir, if I may interject, I cannot speak for Commissioner Sue, but I believe my personal understanding is that it's a little boxy, monolithic, if you want to put it that way. And how you would go about breaking it up and giving it a different character or something, that's some subject up to you. We cannot tell you, well, I want you to put this or want you to
That's-
put that specifically into a design because as Vice Chair Commissioner stated, we cannot, that's not our business. Our business is to kind of, see what you have and see if it fits within the realm of what our understanding is of what the city needs.
I understand what you're referring to, sir, perfectly fine, but my question to you is, we spent a year and a half, maybe a little bit more, working with the city architect, satisfying the landscape, satisfying the grading, this and that, to get here, in order for us to get here. In order for us to have this boxy design that you call, you understand? So, I mean, our next review, going back to the working with the city architect, this is what us, the designer, and the city architect came up with for multiple revisions, came up here to present to you this project. And I understand that you can give me concrete comments about the window sill, about the window being too low. Now, those are something that we can address. That's something really for us to, but then the design is something that we work with the city architect. We didn't just come up here and give you this.
I'm not saying you did, but based on the comments from this meeting, the architect had some questions, and he's taken note of the comments that we've made. So what we're asking is that you meet with him one more or multiple times so that you can incorporate those comments into your design. That's what we're asking you to do, sir. We're not trying to be, one of the things that I would recommend to you is that many applicants come and we see something different from what is in the plans, and we'd like to see some sort of specificity as well, as to exactly how it's going to look, because that's what our purview is.
Sure, I understand, like the color scheme, this and that. We will make notes of it and make corrections on all those.
And the character of the building as well.
I understand, but that's my question to you. So we're gonna go back and work with the city architect. Let's say we do another 3 rounds with him. Let's just say, okay, if we get lucky, we get 1 time, and then we come back here, and you guys.
As this body, we cannot teach you how to design. This is the
Well,
designer,
I
the
understand that
architect.
how you like the design is
It's
very
the
subjective.
architect's job, because if you say you spend a year and a half to come up with a set of drawing like this, then your designer need to take a look at it and see what went wrong, because there's a lot of information missing. From I mean, I don't know if you're owner or if in the owner's perspective, if you spend that much time, that much money on a set of drawing like this, then you need to think about that. So this is my recommendation. I mean, if you're presenting a Spanish-style house, you need to have basic understanding of basic building composition, proportion, and how you place the detail and make it like qualify as a good design. But what we've seen here, I mean, we are not supposed to comment on your floor plan, but the extent of the drawing and the depth of the drawing, as far as I can see, I don't know how this a year and a half really contribute to putting a good design together. So it's not about the time.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is there's something that we had prior to this revision that was working with, and then when we were working with the city architect, that was something that they don't like, and we have to take it out. And this is something that our designer, as well as the city architect, came up with.
So as a designer, you're responsible, applicant and designer, you're responsible for the set of drawing you're presenting. I mean, particularly in this case, we don't have, were you working with Ron?
I'm not the designer, but we work as a team. But yes, round 1 is the city
So
architect.
unfortunately, he's not here today, so we cannot like drill down all those details. I believe, I mean, from what I've seen, we've seen Ron, he's really qualified city architect, and then he put his heart into the project. But unfortunately, we just didn't see a lot of details we'd like to see in this project.
Sure.
And the
We'll
quality
go
of the
back and work
drawing
with
is
him.
questionable.
We'll go
That's
back
what
and
I'm
work with
saying.
him if that's what you referring us to. We'll definitely do whatever it is that's necessary to satisfy the commissioners' opinions. So like the open space, which is very concrete, we can definitely work with those. But the design, hopefully we can come up with something with a round this time, and hopefully will satisfy your liking.
Well, I would recommend that you work with the city architect, meet with them in person, not just, here's the submittal, give us your comments, here's the submittal, give us your comments. That's not typically the process. The process is you collaborate with the city architect, and then also if you're going to address the comments that are presented you in this commission, I mean, you can now look at the project through the lens of these comments specifically, instead of just kind of guessing. But for sure, it should be your design. You're the owner of the design. I mean, we're not going to tell you how to design the building, for sure. And I know that that doesn't ring true in your heart.
I didn't say anything.
At the moment, no, we can tell. But,
Thank you.
I do want to emphasize a point that Commissioner Tu tried to make, is that typically we review drawings and renderings. They're highly detailed, very realistic.
We can rectify that.
And the quality of these presentation is not there, or it's not, on par with what we're used to seeing. So I don't know if the city architect had communicated that to you or not, but I kind of find it hard to believe that he didn't make any comment about it, considering what we see here every month, With that being said, it doesn't sound like you're going to get an approval tonight. So,
I understand that.
I recommend that you, meet with the city architect in person and try to build a collaborative process. And I know it's frustrating, but unfortunately, this is the process. everybody goes through it, not just you. So don't feel that you're being
No, no,
singled
no,
out
no,
by.
no. I
by
just
any-
want to get a clarity of what we need to do.
Yeah.
Now, you did shed some light, which is very helpful, and also Commissioner Lopez and Commissioner Tu. I mean, really appreciate all those comments. I mean, so now we got something to work on.
Right, that's the right way to move forward.
Yeah, I'm not here. I just want to get a clarity. That's why I want to come up here and find out, so what we can do to get this better and present to you guys.
Right. So at this point in time, I'd like to make
Thank
a
you.
motion. Thank you, sir. I'd like to make a motion to continue this project to a date uncertain, to give the applicant an opportunity to revise the project and work with the city architect for resubmittal.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Chang is absent. Commissioner Tu?
Yes,
Thank you. Chair Romo is absent. Vice Chair Salo?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
3 ayes, motion passes for continuance.
Thank you. Comments from the planning manager?
Yes, thank you, Chair, members of the commission. Just a reminder to the commission that applications for this upcoming term is open for returning or new commission applicants. For currently serving Commissioner Chang, Chair Romo, and Commissioner Tu, your seats are up. The application window was between January 17th to March 14th. So please resubmit your application, and also for any new applicant. And that's it for staff.
Thank you. Commissioner comments and conference meeting reports. Do we have any commissioner like to volunteer?
I have nothing to report.
Commissioner Tu? Okay, thank you. So at this time, we'll adjourn the Design Review Commission meeting to the regular meeting on Monday, March 24th at 6:30 PM at City Hall. Thank you.